Snapshot here, Republic of Texas. We're going to look at how I land the F-16. We're on an approach for Sochi Adler, and as you can see right down there is the runway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my hammocks off. No longer need that. We're going to just configure the aircraft. There's a lot of things that we don't need. And we're going to turn our landing lights on and make sure all master arms off. And we're going to completely configure. One of the things that I turn off is I turn this switch right here, the VAM switch, which declutters the HUD quite a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to get into the pattern. And we're going to do like the Navy does, and like a little spin down. And we're going to start getting our altitude and our speed under control. We're going to follow the heading of the runway, 055. We already know that because we done looked it up on our knee board. We're at course 055. The ILS frequency of the 06 runway is 111.110. So we have all that configured. We already have our configuration for the ILS, which is the PLS on the aircraft, through our little M button here on our HSI. So we're going to start gradually reducing our speed. We want to stay around 350 knots, which I got a little slow there. And I want to get down, the general rule of thumb is every 10 miles out, 3,000 feet. That's just the general rule of thumb. We come in with the overhead, so this is pretty much an overhead brake style. I mean, we're not going completely off the FAA charts or anything. It's just a quick and dirty about how I do it. So we're going to enter into a left downwind. So I want to get down about 3,000 feet. Altitude. And we're right here on our course. So we got a little fast. I'm going to throw the brakes out. Like I said, I want to be around 350 knots. But coming out of that, I was actually way too high to start this. But I mean, it's no big deal. We can get this under control real quick. 350 knots, just above 3,000 feet. And let's do a brake. Let's do an overhead brake, like the Navy does with the shit-out brake over the carrier. So we'll do the Air Force version of that. With the Navy, you're lining up to the right of the carrier to start your approach. Well, in the Air Force, you start your approach down the for a brake into land. You start it down the center line of the runway. And I'm way too high at the right speed. So we're going to start at 1,200 feet. Well, got a little low. And you see that little dot right there, just now that the flight path indicator is going into, that's our steering dot. And we're getting a little out of fuel, but that's okay. We got enough. So now we're going to brake 30 degrees. We're going to throw our brakes out. Get below 300 knots, and we're going to throw our gear out. And we're going to start trimming the aircraft to get on our angle of attack. That's our AOA gauge over here on the left side of the HUD. And we want that donut. Don't fall below 150 knots. Try not to. what we're doing is we're controlling our pitch with the aircraft with the throttle. So we're going to lose a little altitude right here, slow it down. We're a little way too high. Still want to stay above 150 knots. And we want to get on center line. We're correct AOA because you can see the donut in our AOA gauge. So all we got to do is arrest our flight. We're going to flare and just let the aircraft settle. And keep the nose up. Comes down on its own. Finish putting the brakes out. And we want to maintain up. We want to pull our stick all the way back to get our aero braking off of our elevators. That was a little sloppy landing, but you get the gist of it. And you just practice, 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 and you get better and better and better. And there we are. We're going to pull off. We're going to throw our nose wheel steering on, and there we go. We're going to taxi to the parking area. Alright, it's been Snapshot with the Republic of Texas. Thanks for watching.